All right, surprising with the big game that there are actually 4 movies being released. So I guess if you're not into football, then you've got a movie to see. Mix 106 movie critic Willie Waffle has already seen them for you, so he can tell you which ones are going to be worth your money. This week we've got Project Almanac. We also have A Most Violent Year, Black or White, starring Kevin Costner, and The Loft.
Oh, dear God, who thinks up some of these movies?
Which one are you referring to?
About?
I would be talking about The Loft.
Oh, but come on. I saw the preview and they said twists and turns that I would never expect.
Hey,
yeah, you never expect them because they make no sense whatsoever.
And you're wondering who makes up those movies? A guy made up that movie going, wouldn't it be great if we could have a place that our wives didn't know about that we could go and just have fun?
Is this some new idea, really?
Can I just speak up for my gender and just say not all men think of things like this?
I guarantee a woman didn't think up of this idea.
Oh, no, it's some dude from Germany or something. I mean, and it's a stupid premise, and it's even worse when they try to play it out and make it into a movie. I mean, it's got all these soap opera style monologues and with all these revealing melodramatic tales that are just stupid. And then the mystery is nothing but a series of red herrings, totally cheating the audience out of any honest chance you would have to figure out what the big mystery is. I mean, how do you like a movie that just constantly lies and deceives you the entire time?
That's twists and turns that you would never expect.
Oh, God. You know what I really think? I think that there was secretly kind of a wager among all the guys on the set to see who could say the loft the most in the movie, because they're always like, are we going to go down to the loft? Who was at the loft last night? Hey, we should get a key for the loft.
Now, James Marsden is in it. Who else?
Well, Carl Urban and Eric Stonestreet from Modern Family. And they've made him look all tough and butchy. He's got 3-day stubble, and he's the most clownish, boorish character you'll ever see in your entire life. Oh, it's ridiculous.
So tell us how you really feel about this movie, because I feel you're jacked up about this.
Does it get 1 waffle?
Oh, it's a 0 waffle movie.
Wow, our first zero of the year.
All right, move on to something else.
Let's see. Project Almanac also looks pretty dumb.
You know, this is a good reason why we have to bring back Star Trek more, because, any kid who watches Star Trek knows you can't mess around with the past, man. And these guys do in this movie. It's this group of teenagers, and one of them has a father who I guess used to be a government contractor or something, and he left behind a time machine. And they get it to work using a whole bunch of stuff from around the house. And now they're going back into time, and they're fooling around, and they're having a good time, and they're playing pranks on their friends, and they're winning the lottery. But then it gets serious because they realize everything they do has ramifications on the future.
See, now this is another movie that we've seen over and over and over again whenever they go into the future in some way, shape, or form. It screws up. We have a time ripple.
Right. Hence why they should know not to do this.
Yes.
But no. And I think the movie, when it's just silly and goofy, actually is okay. The movie starts to fall apart when they insert the drama, when all of a sudden these kids are supposed to realize they're doing something bad, and it's fumbled horribly by the writer. I mean, just really missing big moments that could have made the movie better, missing moments to have our characters develop that would have made the movie better. I'm going to say 1.5 waffles.
Ooh, it's missing some waffles, yeah.
All right, now the one, and I saw 3 of Kevin Costner's movie last year. Loved every one of them, even though critics didn't like it. So Black or White, the previews look great. What is this going to be our saving grace this week?
I actually do. I think it's a pretty good movie. I mean, I think it's a movie that, everyday people are going to see and get it, and are going to kind of get the message and get the point of the movie. It's Kevin Costner playing this guy whose wife dies, and he's been raising his biracial granddaughter, with her, and now he has to do it alone. And the other grandmother, played by Octavia Spencer, wants to get custody of the kid because she's worried about the kid's future. And I think when they're focused in on just 2 people who truly care about the kid, who are trying to do what's best, that's when the movie's at its best. When they start throwing in all the racial stuff, and maybe this is the point of the movie, but when they start throwing in all the racial stuff, the movie just becomes kind of a mess.
Okay.
And it kind of becomes annoying, and it doesn't really know where it's going.
But don't you think in real life, if this did happen, that race would come up?
Yeah, and I think again that's probably part of the movie, is that you would have each side taking these sides and trying to inject a racial aspect to the whole thing. So I mean, you can't run away from it. And I think there are moments when they deal with it in a very complex way, and I think there are other moments where they do it in a very clunky way. But ultimately, I think Costner and Spencer make it work because they're such good actors. I'm going to say 3 waffles out of 4.
Oh, wow. All right, and then another one that seemed to have some Oscar buzz for a while, A Most Violent Year, and it's only playing at the Flicks, I think, here in Boise, but is it worthy of Oscar buzz?
No, the Oscar buzz went away because it's not that great. I mean, it's okay. It's a movie set in 1981. It's New York. Oscar Isaac kind of is running this heating oil company, and he's got all sorts of problems. Someone's attacking his drivers and stealing his trucks. He's under investigation for fraud. He wants to buy a new piece of land that will make his company dominant, but everybody's trying to stop him because they don't want to lose the fight. And we have to wonder who's pushing all the buttons, and is the mafia involved, and is it this cartel, and what is it really? And I think the movie works best when they practically every time they focus in on Jessica Chastain, who plays his wife.
Oh, I like her.
She brings some fire to this movie. She brings the thrills to it, because the rest of the time it's just kind of boiling without exploding. So I'd say like 2.5 waffles. It's okay.
All right. What do we have next week as we get into February?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yes!
3D.
I have been waiting for these guys to do a movie forever.
This is going to be awesome.
Is there going to be an annoying song in it that kids are going to be singing and I'm going to hear?
Of course,
kids. SpongeBob without it.
It can't be as bad as though It's Amazing or whatever the Legoland movie was.
That would be Everything is Awesome.
There you go.
Oh, don't even get it in my head. Don't get it in my head. All right. We will talk to you next week, Willie Waffle.
All right. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Thanks.
Go Hawks.